Right, so my first video is going to be talking about Aegon the Fourth, otherwise known as Aegon the Unworthy. So, firstly, he was the 11th Targaryen to sit the throne, and probably considered one of the worst Targaryen kings. He did not have a good reign, so to speak. He had numerous bastards, and obviously that's what he's most famous for, was that he legitimized them over his true-born children on his deathbed, and this led to the Blackfyre Rebellion, which is probably one of my most favourite Westeros Targaryen events, so there will definitely be a Blackfyre video. But today it's Aegon the Unworthy, so I suppose this is the intro to the Blackfyre Rebellion, so to speak. So, firstly, obviously we know he was not a good king, because he had several bastards, which means he also had several mistresses. So today I'm going to talk about the 9 mistresses of Aegon the Unworthy. So I have some pictures here from the books. Really nice artwork. These are the 9 mistresses. I'll try to do some fancy cropping, add them to the video, but this is video 1. We'll see how we get on. So let's talk about all of Aegon the Unworthy's mistresses. Mistress number 1 is Lady Falena Stokeworth. Obviously, we know another Stokeworth from the current series, A Song of Ice and Fire. Just to note, in these videos I'll probably mainly talking about the books, not so much the show. I might refer to the show, but mainly I want to talk about the books as canon. So Lady Lolis Stokeworth in the books is the dim-witted daughter of, was it Falsey Stokeworth? I haven't read the books in a while. So she's married to Sir Bronn of the Blackwater, obviously, the same as the show. She was also famous in the riot of King's Landing. She got raped by 100 men, and Sir Bronn named her baby Tyrion, and that angered Cersei. So that's a Lolis Stokeworth from the current books. So an ancestor of hers will be Lady Falena, who was a mistress to Aegon. So Aegon and Falena dated when Aegon was 14. Falena was 10 years older, so she would have been 24, and she was his first. She made him a man in the year 149, so that'd be 149 AC, after Aegon's conquest, Aegon the First, obviously. So a Kingsguard found them in bed together a few years later, and then Aegon's father then wed Falena to his master at arms, Lucas Lofston. He persuaded the king to name Lufus Lord of Harrenhal in order to remove Falena from court. So to get, obviously the king wasn't happy with this woman bedding his son, so he got her married and sent to Harrenhal, whereas her father wasn't happy. However, over the next few years, Aegon was known to often visit Harrenhal. So they didn't have any children together. His next mistress, was Merry Meg, the young and buxom wife of a blacksmith. So while riding near Fairmarket in 155 AC, Aegon's horse threw a shoe. When he sought out the local smith, he came to notice the young man's wife. He went on to buy her for 7 gold dragons, and the threat of Sir Geoffrey Staunton of the King's Guard. So is this another Geoffrey from history? Megette was installed in a house in King's Landing. She and Aegon were even wed in a secret ceremony conducted by a mummer playing a septon. Megette gave her 4 prince children in as many years. Prince Viserys put an end to it, returning Megette to her husband and placing the daughters with the Vaith to be trained as scepters. Megette was beaten to death within a year by the blacksmith. So Merry Meg had an unfortunate life just because Aegon wanted her. So they had children: Alicent, Lily, Willow and Rosie. So they all sound like women. So obviously in Westeros, women are no threat to the throne. In the past anyway. His next mistress was daughter of a Dornish lord, Lady Cassella Vaith, Vaith. After the submission of Sunspear, Aegon escorted the hostages that the king had gathered from the Lords of Dorne back to King's Landing. Among them was Khaleesi Vaith, a willowy maid with green eyes and pale blonde hair, whom Aegon ended up keeping hostage in his own chambers. When the Dornishmen revolted and murdered King Daeron, all the hostages were to be killed, and Aegon, by then bored of her, returned Cassella to her place with the other prisoners. However, the new king, Baelor, pardoned all the hostages and personally took them to Dorne. Obviously that'd be Baelor the Blessed, who the famous sept is named after. So Cassella never wed, and in her old age she was consumed by the delusion that she had been Aegon's one true love, and that he would soon send for her. So they had no children together. But that's another sad tale. So the next mistress of Aegon, if you can call some of these mistresses, she was a smuggler, trader, sometimes pirate, captain of the Widow Wind, born of an union between a Braavosi merchant's daughter and an envoy from the Summer Isles. Her name was Belagor Offerus, the Black Pearl of Braavos. She's another interesting character. Obviously, she's referenced in a Arya chapter, and Arya's in Braavos. So after Naerys fell pregnant and almost died in 161,